So I got my Savage here. Now there's YouTube. I've been looking on YouTube, not a lot of videos on how to take apart and get to the slipper clutch. Uh, so I want to show you how to do that. I've already taken it apart, but I'm going to show you how to do it exactly. I'll just show you what bolts to remove, everything like that. Um, as you see here, sorry, my Savage. Um, and let's get to work. So, obviously, I've already removed the suspension and this whole assembly here. Excuse me, but doing this with my phone, I don't have help, so pardon me. But okay, then you'll remove the engine, which I'll show you. We'll have to flip the RC car so that I can show you how to remove the engine and the suspension. But there you go. You'll have access to the slipper clutch. Now give me 1 second. See how I can do this here. Give me 1 second. This bolt you're obviously going to want to remove. So it's a little loose. So there it is. Loose. Got it undone. There's a spring here. I'll take it out, save it, put it somewhere, store it. Then it just comes right apart. Now obviously I'm missing, because I've already done this, but my little thing that's here, can't remember what it's called, but there's a disc that goes here, like a brake disc, and it goes here. Mine was worn out, so obviously I need to replace that. Then you got that you want to save, your plate, and that's your slipper. Watch out for this pin here. There's a pin right here. See that there? Just like your wheels. Make sure you don't lose that. So I'm gonna put this back on so that I don't lose that. And then I'll flip the RC car over and show you how you take everything apart. All right, so skid plates, all right here, skid plates. Mine are purple. That's just how I got it. So obviously, your skid plates would go on here. You're gonna want to remove those. You know, that would go on here like such. Underneath, it would go underneath here, underneath your bolts here. You'd take those bolts out right here. There's two of them, one on each side. Okay. Then there's another one hidden right here that would also be holding it down, one on each side, same thing. You take those out. That's how you remove that. Nice and easy. Okay. But before you get to that, you're going to have your whole suspension to take out. All this right here. Okay. So to do that, there's some bolts. Okay. If you look at this, there's going to be a bolt here. Pretty much all four right here. All four of these you're going to want to remove. Don't worry about these. Okay. Because they hold your little support beam. Not a big deal. But when you remove that, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to sit just like this. So you're going to want to remove the bolt that's sitting here. And same thing, right on the opposite side. There's another bolt that's going to be right here, or a screw. Sorry, I'm saying bolts. Screws here and screws here. Going to want to remove those. Then you're going to want to remove all four of these. All these, sorry, I'm new to this. All four of these, okay? And that will also, if you have a bumper like I do, going to want to, there's going to be a screw here and here. I only had one just because they're hard to come by. Everybody knows that. Okay. And then this will pop right off. You'll have to do a little wiggling, a little shaking, but everything, including this, will pop right off. Not much to it. Okay. I did forget a screw though. There's another screw. So I got these two here, one on each side. There's going to be screws right here also, one on each side. Obviously you can see where my screws go normally. This one here, same thing on the opposite side. Screw there. Pop those off, same thing. As soon as those are the two main screws, or four main screws right there for your whole suspension. Some are different. You might have more screws in, but there's screws here maybe. Same thing with the opposite side here. Another screw over here, right in there. Okay. Don't worry about that one. As you can see, it's a support beam. Same thing with here. That's a support beam. So don't worry about that. If you have a screw here, you don't need to take it out. I don't have one. I should. And I'm working on that. But because I got one over here. But other than that, that's how you do it. So first things first, you'll remove your whole suspension and your skid guards. This would be the first one you remove. This whole skid guard with your suspension. Your suspension obviously would lay underneath all of that. Take out the screws. You see the screw holes right there. There's 4 of them. Those other 2 obviously are for those other 2 holes right there, which I'm missing screws for. But like I said, it's a work in progress. Okay. Once that one's out, that's when you'll be able to remove this little dealio here, which that one's easy. If you have one of those handles here like I have, if you have a handle here that like I have, it'll slip underneath the handle here, just right there where that screw is, like I was showing earlier. And then obviously it'd be tucked in a little bit, however it would be. Maybe it won't, maybe it'll be just sitting just like that, but obviously with the holes. Okay, take that off. Take all that off. You flip that RC car back over. Everything will be fine. There's one more thing though. One more thing. Gotta remove the engine. Gotta remove the engine. The engine, if you don't remove it, it's a pain in the butt. You're not going to be able to get access to your slipper clutch because of this. So you got to pull it out so you can get access to that, so you can pull it out. You'll see why if you try. Okay, so how you do that is now mine, you can see where my engine was mounted. I got a hole there, there, and there. So that's where my engine was mounted. So I took out the bolts that were mounting from the backside. After you take out your suspension, you'll have access to this. You'll see them. Obviously, I'm going to replace my bolts for my engine mount with some nice shiny ones. so I'll see them right away. But what I originally had was the stock black ones, okay? And those are the holes. So as soon as you remove your suspension, you'll be able to remove that. You'll see them there, all those holes. They'll be, so give me a second and I'll show you how it'll look. Okay, so that's how the engine would be, right? Sitting in there. Okay, then you'd obviously have your bolts sitting inside. Let me see if I can do this. One-man guy right now. Oh, come on. I gotta put the camera down. I'm using my phone and I'm sorry. Oh, wait. I got it. Okay. So I'll screw it in real quick. And then show you just kind of an essence of what it'll look like with your engine mounted. All right. So that's pretty much how it would kind of look. I mean, that's half-ass for me, but you'll see them. They're big. They'll look just like that. They'll either be shiny like mine or they'll be black, you know, but they'll be big and they're right there. You got to take that engine out. You don't take the engine out, you're not going to get great access. And I found out the hard way. So anyways, after you do that, let me take this back out. Wrong one. Okay. So after you take this out, after you take your engine out, and by the way, this is a nitro engine, okay, no electric. So electric might be a little different on the whole bracking system, but I got an LRP custom engine in here. Not custom, but aftermarket. So like I said, it might be a little different with the electric cars, but there you go. That's how you get access to your slipper clutch. Now, as you can see here, I've already taken it apart earlier in the video, okay, for you guys. But I didn't see a lot of videos on how to actually get into the slipper clutch. I just saw a lot of videos on how to replace things within the slipper clutch, and you know, that didn't really help me. So I went in and did this all myself, figured it out, and thought maybe I'd share it with people who are like me, who are novices, who really don't know a whole lot, who are just getting into this hobby, like myself. But like I said, I found out my problem. And really, if you're having a slipper clutch issue, which I will post a video on what that looks like in the future for anybody who's wondering. But I noticed there was a problem. So I took it apart to see what was going on, and found out that there's supposed to be like a fiberglass brake pad-ish thing here. Mine was completely worn, so it wasn't working. So I had to chip it away, chip it out, and hopefully I can find a new one. Hopefully. Like I said, real easy. This would go here, just like that. There's you see those little divots there? Little nipples? They'll line up. Same thing with assembly. So if you're trying to assemble it as well, just like that, you just put it back exactly. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so that will go just like that. Hopefully it stays. Okay. Then you'll get your new ring here. Put it inside. And then obviously put it back in. Now be careful, some stuff might be in the way. which is also something else I forgot to get into. With mine, I had to take apart the whole throttle and everything else, which when I get this back together, I'll show you a video on that, on how to take apart the throttle assembly, take apart the intake, everything, all that, all the intake, you'll have to take off the fuel tank. So if anybody wants to see that, just let me know. I'll post another video. I'll get this put back together, and then I'll post another video on how to do that. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. If you like, hit that like button. And please subscribe. I'll post more. If you want to subscribe, I'll post more. More subscribers means more videos. Thanks, guys.